Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Maria from Under the Night Moon, and I'm here today again. This is my second video that I'm going to do that is going to feature one of my books from my Etsy shop. And that's Under the Night Moon, and that's listed down below. Although I couldn't figure out how to get the link to work. Hopefully coming up I'll be able to figure that out. So this is my biggest, fattest, grandest book that I've ever made to date. It definitely is the biggest one I've ever done. And you can really see the amount of trim, jewelry, embellishments that are on this book. And also too, this book I have entered into the design challenge. It's a competition kind of like thing that Etsy is doing. They were calling for your best work, so I feel this book represents not only my best, certainly my biggest, as you can see, and it is an absolute symphony of color, texture, and thought, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through. I'll start just with the cover. You can see all of the vintage jewelry pieces that I've chosen. And I want to point out, especially over here, is a tiny seam binding ribbon flower. I don't know how old it is, but it's all hand done. And it started out as a disc of paper, and whoever made this, they embroidered tiny seam binding ribbon. And then tiny little yellow needlework on the center to make it this flower. I have 3 of them. I just think that is probably one of the prettiest things that I own. Anyway, this is a brass crown that I've done some texturing on to try to make it look older. This is silk thread, really soft, really pretty, and it's gold. I have all kinds of velvet trims on here. Beautiful rhinestones. Okay, so here we go. Really big. I want to make sure I keep it in view. Not quite sure if I'm doing this right. My second video ever. Okay, so here we go. Opens up to collage. Every page has a collage with jewelry. There's sentiments in here as we go along. There's rhinestones. This is wonderful tassel I forgot to point out on the cover. This gorgeous rose tassel. Okay, so your first tag, here you are, has some... This video is probably going to be long because it's such a huge book. But this is why I'm doing this channel, so that I can really showcase and show all the detail, the stamping, all the things that were done to this book, which took me months and months to create. Another pocket here, another tag. All the tags have been decorated. There's trim, beautiful embroidered trim, embroidered buttons, jewelry pieces, all kinds of stamping, tabs, lace. I love this craft trim from the 60s and 70s. Went crazy on eBay and just bought a lot of that. I just love it. It's a calico. Here's some fibers, and then down here you've got a key and another vintage little earring piece, I believe. Some rhinestones. It says follow adventure. Little tuck spot here. Beautiful butterflies. Trust your heart. Tell me a story here. We've got, I don't know what these are called. I love them. I think they're cool. It's like a little disc. It's hard. But this is also a pocket here. And it's pretty wide. You can put a lot of things in there. More of that gold thread. And then this opens up. This is sort of a double pocket here. And this is also where the closure dash bookmark, you have one bookmark here, which you can use throughout the book. And then I'll show you at the end. And this has a beautiful and pretty heavy, excuse me, rhinestone earring, probably from the 50s. And that will wrap around the book twice to keep it closed. Down here it says, someday I will. Some more of these fibers. Some vintage tassels here. And this tool with the stars is especially my favorite thing. And then in the pockets, as I was saying, you've got one here and one in the front here. Okay, and then of course the beautiful butterfly. And then, oh, and also too, forgot to mention, this book is sewn. It's pretty soft, but it's got several layers that are sewn together for the cover. And it has 2 signatures that were sewn in also. So these are all sewn in using the stitching method there. So they're not going anywhere. And then we have Sweet Friend here with book pages that have been stamped. Some cool paper that's dotted. A little scrap there. And you can certainly journal. All the pages have a little bit of a gold shimmer to them as well, just for texture. And then here you have a fabric flip up. You can kind of quietly do something there, add a picture. And with this pretty little earring piece from the 50s, another one of these cool disc things that I love, and I make those. And then down here it says, beautiful story. This is my story. Love this trim, this embroidered trim. And then this is actually, okay, here we go. Some of these are pockets, I want to make sure. You have a beautiful ribbon. This can also be used as a bookmark, or it can just be placed in here. Got some little envelopes to tuck things in. Journaling cards. Little baby tags. Oh, this baby tag goes up here in this little pocket. Got this pretty little heart. And this ruby red trim there, or ruby red rhinestones with the heart. It says, remember love. And then this really cool graph paper. Some more oops, sorry about that. Some rhinestones there. And it just says notes down here. That's from Nick the Booksmith. I purchased her field notes and things. Here's another little vintage jewelry hanging off from some seam binding in this cool fiber here. Just a lot of sparkle in this book. Sorry, I'm not in focus here. Gorgeous velvet vintage leaf. Love is kind. You've got some more washi and trims, buttons, holding everything together. And then this is a little brass. I don't know what this is used for. I just think they're beautiful, and I add them into my art wherever I feel like it would go, like up here. I just think it's really pretty. Add some interest to an already beautiful piece of ephemera. And then this is, of course, more trims all along down here. Another piece of jewelry here. This flips up and you have a little tab that opens here. You can put a picture, journal there, and then on this side you've got more of that beautiful silk thread, and you can feel how soft it is. And it says dream with me, and this is a pocket which I've put a bunch of cool little decorated, sorry I'm not in focus, I've put tags and things in here, like this really pretty vintage perfume label, and they've all been backed so that you can journal on them. And then here you can see this is a pocket, but you also have a pocket in here, so you have one in the front, one in the back, and one here. I didn't mention, but this book also comes with 2 clothespins which are embellished, and I'm going to show you what we're going to use those for in a little bit. Maybe I'll just keep them here. So this page has a real twig from my backyard, and it holds 2 little rose tags which have been stamped. Everything has been stamped, but you could put little pictures there. This is a little tuck spot here, this cool flower charm, and then of course the butterfly. And this says journey. And then more pages to journal on. You can add pictures here. There's plenty of room here and here to add. You can see this little crystal charm I've had for a really long time. I finally found a home for it, and it's next to says blessings. So that's that. Moving right along. A lot of these pages here you can see my star tool. It's just really fun. A lot of space on these pages here to add some pictures and journal. You can even do some artwork on there. Another little spot for tags in this little seed pocket here. Some more tulle. A lot of sparkle. This is actually a, let me get in focus. It's actually an earring of a flower. And this is one of my favorite vintage images. Actually is a card, and it also has 2 white doves, but I just used the flower part of it. You can see this vintage embroidered trim. I have this in 3 colors. I'm obsessed with it. It's just beautiful. Really well made. And then a pretty flower down there. And then you open up to another pocket here. Very good size pocket to add letters, receipts, things that you might want to save. And then we have wax seals, butterflies, little flip up there. It says remember laughter, happy together, you are my blessing. This is actually a tag that comes out and fits in here. This comes up, and then this cool vintage chunky rhinestone. I have a whole necklace of this. So cool. And then here you have a very pretty red earring with some of this velvet and gold trim. That's one of my favorite trims. I don't know if you can see. And then of course just embroidered linens here. And then the other half of the embroidered linen is over here. And of course here's just a really pretty collage of butterflies and papers. It says greatness, and this comes out, can be journaled on the back. And also a really pretty flower. I've had this for a long time, so I'm happy to find a home. And then a tiny little wax seal here of a crown. I don't know about this focus. I'm not very good at that yet. I have to learn how to do that. And then you have another very good size pocket for storage. And then throughout this journal, as we get about halfway through right now, I've attached some length to the trims here, and you can see this one's really pretty gold. And what you use that for is you can hold it over, use one of these clips, and clip to any one of the numerous tabs, and it'll hold the book open for you. And so you have, this is a medium-sized one, and then you have this larger size one, which I'll show you as we get towards the back. And that's what those are for. I have here a really pretty butterfly. It says a beautiful dream here. And you can see the gold shimmer on all of this. Some more of my beautiful tulle. And then it says Everyday Beauty and a little hanging tag. The baby little clip here too, in case you want to clip things to the pages. And then a little pocket back here. Some gorgeous Anna Griffin paper, more of this trim. And then here you've got another jewelry piece up here with all kinds of stamping. Lots of trims. Lots of gold, buttons. Lots of stamping. And then if you don't need this, of course, you can just keep it over here. And this came undone, so we're just gonna quickly, they're just like the little vintage safety clips that come on there. And because of the amount of trims and tabs, I didn't feel it was necessary to do an eyelet there, because this is almost like extra paper, so it's not going anywhere. And then here we have a decoupage napkin on a piece of glassine, and then I've embossed and stamped and added some book pages and just done a little collage. And this is velvet, and then you've got just a variety of trims there. So it's just a neat and interesting little piece, and it's also secretive. You can tuck a picture under there or write something and no one will ever know it's there. Which I find that kind of neat. Here's another little case study from Nick the Booksmith. Which of course, if you're note-taking and maybe bird watching, you can put your favorites that you've seen. Here's another pretty, this is actually a rhinestone button. Love is unconditional. Memories and a nice page to journal on, and more over here. And just pretty little rhinestones. Love, I love these gold leaves. I have many different leaves. I really like the gold right now. And then this is the center of the book, I believe, or, okay, not the center, I think, where we were before, but this is the focal point, I think, for me making this journal. And I'll show you in a second. But quickly on this side, this is actually an embroidered coaster for wine glasses. So you slip the glass in. I cut it in half and just made a pocket out of it, because I love this yellow embroidery here. I don't know if you can see. And the other half is coming up, so it was a circle. And you just set your wine glass in it, and it's a coaster. So I love the work that went into that. Again, it was at Goodwill. Just keeping it off the dusty shelves there. Okay, and then this is a giant tag. Well, not giant. Let me see. So it's 7 inches by 4 inches. And it's very sturdy. It's got some wallpaper. It's been sewn, and then I've backed it with plain cardstock to journal on. But it says, "Sweet, beautiful you, open up and reveal your true self." Oh, and I should have probably done this earlier. I never read on the cover. It says, "My love, show me your heart and keep the faith." And I should have read that, so I'm sorry. I forgot. This book is enormous. It even gets me sometimes. Just the bounty of stuff that is involved. So anyway, so that's your large journaling tag there, and then you come over to this side with just some nice graph paper with the trims to journal on. Scene 1, another cool wax seal of it's like a crest sort of leaves. And then over here, this is that Maggie Holmes paper, which I love. Maggie Holmes, one of my favorite designers. And then just a cluster of little tags and things. There's many in here. Pretty little flower. And some beautiful embroidered lace. And as we get a little closer, again, we can take our clip and just clip to any one of the number of tabs to hold this open, which I'm going to do right now because I want to show you. Here's the other half of the coaster. You can see this pretty little flower that's on there. There's another herbarium from Nick the Booksmith that I attached, and that's an emboss pocket using my Anna Griffin. And then it says "A New Day" on this really pretty rose tag. So that's that. Really pretty trims in here. This says "Amazing Things." These are scrubs right here, and it has more book pages. And these are 3-dimensional flowers here. I just want to point that out. They're very pretty and they're very sturdy. So you have more of these book pages for pictures here and here. And then this is a page from a book of Monet. It was very difficult to take anything out of that book, so I chose the most mundane picture. Even in its beauty, I just love with the butterflies. A little baby fabric tag there, and a really cool cellulite earring from the 50s, I think. And it has rhinestones, very intricate. That's to make up for my bland Monet page. And then here you see I have attached a longer bookmark, which we will use in a moment coming up, but we're still got some pages. There's the other side of that Monet page. Really cool trims here. And some music paper, more of my star tool. And then I think I'm going to clip here so I can show you this cool butterfly. It's actually layers, 3 or 4 layers, so this will come up and you can play with it. It's very sturdy. It's just a neat little spot. And you can certainly journal here and write. You can add pictures, add a little picture on the other side here. Quietly, no one will know it's there unless you want to show it. And then on this side we have this cool library card which you can fill out. More butterflies, trims, papers. Very cool page here to journal on. All kinds of colors and textures going on in this book. I just cut loose and had no boundaries with this book. I didn't want to have any boundaries. If I wanted to put it there, I did. So, and then down here it says "True Love," which I think is really pretty. And then you come over to this side and it has another, oh, here's the long strap here. And then you've got some more field notes, pockets and things. And you've got 2 in there. So this can come all the way to the front. And you can use the larger clip here and hold that in place while you journal. This is one of my favorite pages of this book. And this, I don't know where this goes. I don't remember. Well, maybe we'll just tuck it here for now. It's just a pretty little tag using the trims. This is definitely a mix and match book anyway. Absolutely everything will go with everything in this book. And you can add anything to this book, I think, and it'll match just from the color aspect alone. So here it says Learning to Fly. And up here is a really pretty sparkly piece. Of course, you've got the butterflies. This is a dangle. And then down here I've attached a crystal, a pretty enamel flower, which I gotta flip over, it's blue. You can see there. And then this pretty little rhinestone piece. And that's just a little pretty little dangle. Okay, we're almost done. Another pretty good sized pocket here. Go ahead and store. Use that for storage. I think I'm gonna clip this, but you have a little embossed bookmark there. Pieces of Yesterday. And this is the last page. Right here. And you can see the stitching on the cover here. How it's been stitched all around. And the cover is the same. And I used this pretty rose fabric. But in this page here, you've got this cool embroidered, I don't even know what it is. It's like an applique, but a really old one. And then I've attached that really pretty rhinestone there and all of these beautiful fibers. And then here it says Love is Forever. And then there's the tulle. Oops, I'm out of focus. There we go. And then I made a shaker. And it's a iridescent, mostly white shaker. And you can see I've got little flowers and leaves. And there are 2 sayings in there. It says shine bright and never give up inside the pocket there. And it's just on this pretty calling card there. And that just sits right in here. But you know, it can go anywhere. You can mix and match this whole entire book. And then as you turn it over, well, then there's just the bottom part there with this really pretty flocked ribbon. And then you turn it over to the back. Again, you can clip it closed if you really don't need to at this point. And then oops, the back is probably my favorite part. I just think it's really, really beautiful. I love the way the blue and the rhinestones have come together with the different trims. And then this is actually a really old shoe clip. And it's intact. Sometimes I just don't think adding piles of glue to things that are this old. I just can't do it. And because it has these really sharp little like teeth on there to clip onto the shoe, it's not going anywhere. And it just attaches like that. You just close it. So that's how I've attached it. You could put a safety pin through there if you're worried about it, but I just couldn't douse it in glue. It's just beautiful. So I've added that. It's like majestic. So I've added that piece. Some velvet ribbon here. There's the stitching of the signatures there that you can see. And that's the complete flip through of my symphony of color and texture. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I know it's been a long video, so thank you for taking the time to stop and watch. Have a great day and click the subscribe if you want to watch more of my work. I will be uploading more videos as I have a few more books and then the new ones that I make. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.